Most of us remember that day. It's etched in our minds, a permanent reminder of tragedy. We all watched helplessly as lives were lost, heroes were born, and a nation was forever changed. The loss was unimaginable, the sorrow unbearable. But through that pain, we witnessed the resolve of a nation. We saw chaos give birth to courage, fear transform into fortitude, and destruction give way to determination. In the midst of the brokenness, freedom stood immovable. Today, we remember those we lost. We honor the heroes who saved so many and grieve with the families who have suffered so much. It's been 20 years, but we still remember, and we will never forget.
Hey, Malibu Pacific Church, Andy here. Super excited about today because Malibu, we love you. We are for you. And Malibu Pacific Church is for Malibu and every community and every person, because every person matters, every child matters, every student matters, every adult matters. Today, right now, what is happening right outside is a relaunch of our church. After 7 months, the staff and the board and volunteers have worked so hard to get things ready around here for the relaunch here on site on the campus. And we're so glad you're watching. And we want you to enjoy this and be a part of our online church, but also sometimes you may come to our on-site and bring your kids, because we've created amazing children's environments that are irresistible. Your kids are going to love it. The students are meeting as well on Sunday mornings, 4th and 5th graders and junior hires. And then during the week, the high schoolers are meeting. And so we are having a blast. Also, just to let you know, young adults, 2030s, that's a lot of you out there. We are meeting next Sunday, September 19 at 6 o'clock here at the church. Food trucks, lots of fun and games. And it's purely a chance for everybody to get to know each other and start to become friends. A lot of you are new to the community, so we're providing this environment next Sunday night. So mark that on your calendars, be down here at 6 and get ready for a great time. Now, we are in this series called Life Hacks. Life Hacks, some of you may have heard this, how you apply something or do something, it's a hack on your life. It helps you do things better. And so here is the definition of life hacks. It's any trick, shortcut, skill, or novelty method that increases productivity in all walks of life. So we've been talking about some principles here that if we apply them to our lives, they will help us get better at life, and we will enjoy life, and life will be great. It's going to help us in our productivity if we apply these principles. And today's principle is absolutely powerful. But before I get into it, I want to talk about last week. If you missed last week, you need to go back and go to our YouTube channel or our website and find it and watch it, because it is a powerful principle of what has an influence on our lives, and that's our friends. Now, I got a couple of emails, some people complaining about the sermon. I know. It hurt a little bit. That's okay. I love you all. But they were absolutely right. It hurts when somebody is right. I wasn't clear about one point. They were like, hey, does that mean we just have a certain group of friends and we're not friends with other people? And even not friends with non-Christians? No, that is not what I was saying. The principle was this last week. Your friends will influence the direction of your life and the quality of your life. And so it's really important the friends that you pick, because we are acceptance magnets. So your friends will influence the direction and the quality of your life. So the biblical verse that we used was this one right here, Proverbs 13:20. And we're teaching this with our kids, we're teaching it with our students, and we're teaching it with our adults. It's part of our children's and students' curriculum. I have been using this principle for years and years and years. I applied it to my own personal life, my kids' life, and it's powerful. And it's so true, because when we walk with the wise, we become wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm. You don't become a fool, you suffer harm. Here's a point I want to clarify that I wasn't very clear last week. It doesn't mean don't be friends with people who are not Christians or are different than you or different walks of life. What this verse is saying right here, the key word is a companion. These are your people. That's your tribe. That's your posse. This is your group. These are the people, your companions who are having influence on you versus other people who are wise and having influence on you. So who are your companions? If they are fools, you're going to get hurt just by being around them. And so just wanted to clarify the companion part. There's a book called Boundaries by Cloud and Townsend. I encourage you to pick it up. They refer to this. Also, Cloud and Townsend wrote another book called Safe People. Powerful, incredible book. Safe People talks about 20 characteristics of safe people and 20 characteristics of unsafe people. And one of the characteristics, they say there's different characteristics of very healthy people and toxic people. And the companion of a fool is the sixth or the lowest level of a relationship, unhealthy people. That is what I think that the Solomon and the writer of these Proverbs was talking about. Be careful who has influence on you, because if they're a fool, they know it's right, and the difference between right and wrong, but they still choose what's wrong. And so that is a fool. So, a little clarification from last week. It's talking about companion. You don't want them to be your comrades, your companions. Be careful of that. Today, I want to take a few minutes and talk about this principle here, because when you look around and you see people, have you ever met somebody or had friends and you're like, you know, they're super smart, but they keep making stupid decisions? I have tons of friends who have PhDs, they're engineers, attorneys, doctors, and very intelligent, highly educated, or very, very wealthy people, very successful business people who have done very, very well in life. And yet they're super smart in the area of their smartness, if that's a word, but they keep making stupid decisions. You're like, how can somebody so smart make stupid decisions? I mean, how does that work? So my wife and I have talked about this, and we realize that it's not just them. I don't know if you know this, but I have blind spots myself. I don't see everything. Just like driving in your car, there's blind spots. And so this is the life hack that, if we apply this, will help us begin to see our blind spots and keep us from going off the edge or having an accident in our lives or a crash in our lives. You have a blind spot. I have a blind spot. And don't worry, my wife Kelly reminds me of my blind spot all the time. So we all have it. But this principle here today, that if we apply this principle, this life hack from Solomon, who is the wisest man that ever lived, in Proverbs, it will keep us from crashing in our lives. So in Proverbs 27, verse 2, he says this: the prudent, or another word for prudent is wise. The prudent, or a wise, they see danger, and when they see danger, they take refuge. Let me say it one more time. The prudent, they see danger, and when they see danger, they will go and they will take refuge. The prudent, again, means a wise person, and he's literally talking about somebody who's looking for the danger. The person who is prudent or wise, who sees danger, the literal translation out of the Hebrew is saying it's like there is a scout going out who is looking for danger. Because in the ancient world, when you were out of your town, your area, your people, your safe place, you were out always in a dangerous place. So they would send scouts out to double check and make sure there isn't any danger ahead. And if there is danger ahead, the scouts would come back and say, hey, there's danger, there's danger. And what they would do is take the higher ground, or they would change roads. So the prudent, they're looking for it. Wise people are very courageous and willing to ask the hard questions and ask people things that they may not be able to see, or things that may hurt them a little bit or hurt their feelings a little bit, but they are seeking the truth. They're looking for where there might be danger. They're looking for it. Several years ago, I went through a lot of stuff as a pastor and, carrying the load and doing too much. And finally, I had a good friend say, I think you need to go get some counseling. So I found somebody who is a professional counselor, and I met with this counselor, Denise Hirschlein, for about 5 years. Every Thursday morning at 9 o'clock, I met with my counselor, and she would be this person. She would ask the right questions. She would ask the penetrating questions. She would say the things that hurt. Every time I finished my counseling session, I'm like, dude, I am beat up. I need some time just to myself because that hurt. But I wanted to be wise, and I was looking for wise because I was asking her, I don't want to go off the ledge. Do you see something in my life that could be hurtful to others, that could be hurtful to myself, hurtful to my family, to my wife? So what do you see in me? And she would speak truth in me, and it would hurt sometimes. It takes a lot of courage to be willing to see the truth that God wants to show you to avoid the problems or the crashes in this life. The prudent, they see danger and they do something about it. They take refuge. They find higher ground. All of us, I don't know if you know this, have a confirmation bias. There's been a lot of studies of this, Stanford studies on a confirmation bias. Every single one of us human beings are looking for information to simply confirm what we already believe. So we struggle with this principle because all of us have confirmation bias. We want just everybody to approve what it is that we've already decided to be true. But he goes on and he says this, the prudent, they see danger and they take refuge, but contrast, other people. There's these kinds of people and there's a second group of people, but the simple keep going and they pay the penalty. In other words, those who are not willing to have the courage or take the risk to have somebody speak truth in their lives, they're like, yeah, or he may be saying, I'm not sure, yeah, I see danger ahead, but I'm going to keep going off the cliff. It's sort of like you're driving on the road and there's a cliff and you're getting ready to go off the ledge and your wife or husband are like, hey, honey, I think we need to make a turn. There's a big ledge. That's okay. I see it. Let's just keep going. There is a penalty to be paid. This is not God punishing you or punishing me. God showing us the areas that we need to change is God at work. The rest of it is up to us. The people who see the danger and say, yeah, I see it, but I'm going to keep going right into it, are the people who then experience the pain and hurt in life. Isn't that true for have you had people in your life where they said, hey, I don't think that's a good person for you to date. I know them, I know their family, or I just, there's something wrong with them, or the place where you're working, or how you're spending your money, and you're getting in debt. So you have 2 car payments, a house payment, and you're in debt with 5 credit cards. Hey, I don't think I would buy a 3rd car. And you're like, no, I know. It's fine. And you go ahead and do it. And then someday you're off the ledge and filing bankruptcy. You see, the prudent or the wise see debt as a problem for the future. They're able to connect the dots. A person who's not wise, a fool, they think a debt is a problem just for today and there isn't a problem with it. You see, a prudent person, a wise person, sees the relationships that they have today connected to the relationships they will have in the future. That relationship is taking them somewhere. But a fool, or somebody who is very simple, they don't see a problem with that relationship because it's fine now. They always live in the moment. So the prudent, they see danger and they take refuge, but the simple keep going and they pay the penalty. Here's the point. The moment, here's our takeaway. The moment we see, the moment somebody says something, the moment somebody speaks truth, the difference between the prudent and the simple is this one thing, and I want to encourage you to do this, is take action. You can't pray your way out of this problem. You can't pray your way off of a problem. You can't hope it doesn't happen. Sometimes it's just too late to get rescued, and there is a penalty. So I want to encourage all of you to find wise people in your life, that the friends that you have, the wise people that you have, the sages that you have, the people that you trust, the people that have invested you into your life. These are the people that are trying to help you avoid the calamities of life. The prudent, they listen. And when they listen, they take action. They do something about it. They change their course of direction. They take refuge. They avoid the problem and the pain. The simple, or the fool, they see the problem, but they keep going towards it thinking, I can manage the outcome. I'm in control. It's farther down the road. It won't impact me till later. It's fine. And they will pay a heavy penalty. Today's principle, to listen to our friends, our people, our parents, the people in our lives who love us. And when they say something and they're ahead of us and they see things coming, take action, change directions, avoid the hurt. God bless, and we'll see you next week.
Who breaks the power of sin and darkness, whose love is mighty and so much stronger, the King of glory, the King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder, who leaves us breathless in awe and wonder, the King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes the orphan a son and daughter? The King of glory, the King of glory, who rules the nations with truth and justice, shines like the sun in all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Jesus, this is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. So worthy is the Lamb who was slain, worthy is the King